Why not?
Okay, ready? I think we're live. I think we're live. Alright, make room. Good Lord knows I need it. Scooch. Okay, hey everyone. A bit of an awkward setup. Let me make sure everything's good on my laptop here. And come sit back down. Come sit back down. Please. I need the company. Okay. Alright, let me test the audio, because the audio I was pretty unsure about. Alright, yeah, it is a little bit too loud. Hun, can you go over there and just stop the music? Just press pause. I think it's too loud. I can't do anything with it. Just go click, move the mouse over to the other screen. See the YouTube video? Other screen. Go right. Nope, go right. Go right. Yep, press pause. There you go. Good job. Alright, hey everyone. Super impromptu stream. Sandra, aka Woman Sant, has agreed to finally jump in front of the camera here, so I couldn't say no to that opportunity. I mean, it's Valentine's, right? So hopefully everyone's out here is celebrating, getting a nice dinner tonight, eating your chocolate cake, baking your brownies, whatever you like to do. We are headed to a steak dinner in probably like an hour, if we time everything right. If we get through the stream, if she doesn't strangle me, because I think that's probably that's probably the most likely next step here. And she's probably off camera with embarrassment. She can come back when she wants. But I just wanted to catch up with people and hang out for a bit, because things have been really busy, and I haven't been able to regularly stream as I really planned to. Now that life has stabilized again, maybe we'll get back to it. So this might be the beginning of a new stable stream. But as you can see, the background is different. Finally finished moving. So that happened just a couple weeks ago now. Moved into a wonderful house. Pretty old style, you know. It's got a basement, got an attic. There's a lot of maintenance. It's a lot of new exciting homeowner challenges that I've got to be up to here to make sure we survive the winter. You can see a radiator in the background. But it's really cool. We were living in a tiny little apartment before this, so really excited that that's changed. Also, of course, new job that I'm now, I don't know, 3 months into and starting to, you know, really feel comfortable in that and take on more responsibilities. So that's really cool. Hey, everyone in chat. We got Ethnic Smoke, Harley Birch, and Martin Grange so far, plus a whole bunch of other people. Hello to everyone's watching. Hun, you can come back. She doesn't like it when I turn on like the streamer voice or the streamer talk, because it really is like a switch. It's something different. We'll try to curate that in her as well.
Hello, everyone.
But there you go. The mic's a little bit far away, so hopefully you can still hear us here. I had to stop the music because it was kind of overtaking the level of noise that we're at. Martin, will you be pushing more Clash content, or has that one been released and is living its own life? That's a great question. I actually have a whole bunch of, I guess, friends. They're acquaintances at the moment. I'd like to build up a better relationship with them, call them true friends. But it's a bunch of local players, pretty new to the game, actually. And I've invited them over a couple times now. Things just kind of fell through planning-wise. But the idea to get them deeper into the game was actually play Clash with them. And I thought that'd be a really cool way to bring more Clash content and actually show a new player onboarding experience with Clash. So I haven't given up on it completely. I was just waiting for them specifically to kind of be a part of that story arc, so we could build up, you know, more Clash content that really does show off new players learning the game through that lens, which I thought would be pretty cool. Cardboard Flesh and Blood says, "What's up? Happy Valentine's Day, Ethan. Glad FedEx saga is finally over." Ashikaze, thank you so much for tuning in. There's a lot of very strange updates on the FedEx front. Let me adjust that a little bit. So there's a lot of stories to tell. So let's jump into the FedEx one so that we can start cracking these packs. Because as you can see, these packs are in a Ziploc. And I know they're not the most exciting. These are just Uprising packs. Everyone's really tired of Uprising at this point. But the cool thing about these packs is that I deemed them lost to all eternity. These were the packs that were in a box that was in my FedEx bag that got lost on the way back from Lille. Now, what's crazy about that bag is it just randomly showed up, like, what, a day or two ago?
Yeah.
And it was a massive box. Like, I thought it was maybe a coffin or something. Literally no idea what it was. And Sandra and I drug it into the living room, and we kind of waited And we're like, I don't know. It's from Utah. Like, what's going on with Utah? What's up with this? We opened it later in the day when we actually had some time to kind of deal with whatever was going to be inside. And holy crap, it was my FedEx bag. And so that was totally random. Like, I don't think either of us expected that because it was coming from Utah. I mean, think about that. This was a bag that got lost coming back from Charles de Gaulle through Reykjavik to Stewart International to, home here in Geneva, New York. And so it just, I really don't know. I don't know how it ended up in Utah instead of with me in the first place. And I only got a notification like maybe 2 weeks ago from a FedEx employee saying that they found a bag that might match my description. And it was a really random call. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. What's up with that? And they said, oh, we'll get in touch with you later. And then it just showed up. So I didn't even know they were shipping it to me. I never got a new tracking number. So it reappeared. Poggers, as Mario says. Martin, makes sense. What about another streamer class showdown? We're enjoying at a very small LGS. Another streamer class showdown would be pretty fun. That was the most time-consuming project I've ever undertaken. Mad props to everyone running the Goliath Gauntlet because coordinating matches, editing them, getting through all the troubleshooting that maybe someone had tech issues recording and they didn't know, they just upload and then you have to get back on them, try to keep everything on track, yada yada. It got really, really intense on my time. So I'll definitely need to have things at work kind of cool down. Things at work will need to have like a steady out before I can really take on a clash showdown again. But anyway, okay, so the FedEx bag, right? Inside the FedEx bag, my stuff definitely got tossed around. There was probably some water damage on a lot of it. I don't quite know if it was water damage or what, but things were like really warped. It might have just been from the cold, might have been from getting knocked around or what. But I had a bag of Uprising from Worlds that I think I won at Pro Tour, that I think I won at a side event or something, and the box was destroyed. Like the bits of the box were just pulped up and everywhere all over the bag, and someone had put all the packs then into a Ziploc. So I didn't pack it this way. I did not pack these packs in a Ziploc. Someone who went through the bag, maybe a FedEx employee, maybe someone else, saw that the box was exploded or at least close to it and repackaged it all into a Ziploc. So these are just kind of maybe lucky packs. I mean, they survived what I would have thought to be the end of the line for them. So we're going to go ahead and open these up. Sandra agreed. She does enjoy opening up packs. Pretty much doesn't enjoy any other aspect of Flesh and Blood. But packs we can do. Well, hold on. Before you open, I actually am interested how many there are. I mean, you can see they are pretty beat up. Like really beat up. Look at these things. I don't even know if it's a full box or what happened here. So let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 24 to a box. Is that right? 8, 8, 8, 8. Yeah, that should be right. Right? 24. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so there isn't a pack missing. Interesting. So we'll just go ahead and open some up here and see what's going on.
So how do I do this?
Well, these are paper packs, so you
no,
can just
I know,
turn.
but like, how do I show them, or do I just show the interesting ones?
Well, the camera's up here, and it's well lit, so you can do whatever you want. Yes, it's a full box. Sweet.
So
well, let's see what's up with it.
What letters are we looking for?
So you're looking for, well, that's an M, that's a majestic. So the really good stuff is going to be an L. I doubt we really see one, but the L is going to be like kind of an orange in that spot. Otherwise, M's are pretty good, and then rares are a blue circle. And I honestly have so much of this set that I'm not really looking to keep anything unless it's particularly cool. Like a foil rare Isoternal is probably okay. So you want to check.
Is this foil?
That is foil. A foil Oasis, I'll keep that. Yeah, that card's decent. Tome of Firebrand, that card's decent. But most of this is going to be chaff, so you can just kind of stack it up and we can be done with it. So the spots you want to look for the most, the rares are going to be kind of towards the middle. That's also where a majestic might be, kind of in the middle here. And then the last two cards can also be special. So be sure to check those. But otherwise, yeah, it's mostly going to be junk. But anyway, while Sandra and I open this up,
Do you want these? The R's?
No, I truly have some. I'll just donate this to like a new player or something. While Sandra and I go through these packs, we can continue with story time. Well, how's everyone's Valentine's Day? Hopefully pretty good. It's a bit of a late stream, so I think we missed Valentine's Day for like half the world. But hopefully it was nice for everybody. Here's another M. Yeah, so actually these are pretty warped. You see this? This is what I wasn't sure. Like, is this just kind of exposure damage just from the cold and being beat up? But most everything, even my trade binder, which I can grab in a second to show that off, was kind of in this shape. All the cards were pretty warped. The only things that were broken in the bag were some of my old streaming gear, like some of my stands, some of my tripods and that kind of thing, were just a little too beat up to the point where things had broken. So that wasn't cool. But overall, like, I was pretty thrilled to see like my trade binder was completely intact. And while your average person who is maybe digging through the bag probably doesn't see a lot of value in Flesh and Blood cards, I did have a lot of Pokemon in that binder as well from when I used to work at my LGS in college. And so there was a lot of stuff like stamped, staff. And, another M. Very nice. Huh?
What about this?
Oh, no, that's fine. We don't need that. And so for your average Joe these days, they know that Pokemon is valuable. So I was a little worried. I had like a staff Charizard in there from something. I don't remember what set that was. But yeah, I was worried that those might have gotten looted, might have gotten picked off, but they weren't. So that was cool. Overall, yeah, I'd say it was a success to get my bag back. And there's a lot of things in there I definitely don't need to use again. Oh, that was weird. How did that end up over here? There's a lot of things in the bag that I definitely don't need to repurpose. Like, a lot of the streaming gear I just straight replaced. So I have like a bunch of extra tripods now that I just don't need. So I do want to eventually do something with those, like maybe give them away as a bit of a incentive to someone who wants to start streaming their own local events. Because I just don't need it. It's a lot of duplicate stuff now. A lot of older webcams as well. So we'll try to make good use of that stuff. Get it to people who really need it, because I definitely don't at this point. I've upgraded beyond. Valentine's was a bit quiet here in New Zealand. We had a cyclone, Gabriel, hit the country the last couple days. Oh, I've actually seen that. Dominia did. Wait, she got the cold foil? Hun, what's happening? Did you get a cold foil? And did you skip it? Okay, thank goodness chat's watching. You can't just skip over this. Wait. Did you get a Dominia? No. Scoot back up. Where'd you put your stuff?
Right here.
No. If you got a cold foil Dominia, that's like a huge deal, hon. Hold up a second.
No,
Where did this
put
go?
them here.
Okay. Good thing chat is watching you. I totally am not. Okay, be careful thumbing through this stuff. Because that card's like 160 bucks. Oh, wait. No. So, you got a heat wave, at least. I don't know if that's what they were talking about.
No.
Cold foil in the bulk pile. Okay, just a heat wave? Not a Dominia? Oh, okay. We'll see here. This you could have picked out. That's just an M. It's not a cold foil Dominia, but you did miss two big things. This is a cold foil heat wave. Majestic and Book Dominia.
Yeah.
These are decent. Good. Chat's watching for you. Say thank you.
Okay, do you still need one?
Well, yeah, keep going. Let's hope you don't miss a legendary. That would be embarrassing.
Majestic.
There you go. You caught that one. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
What? Hun, you're trying to point out the fact you got a majestic. You just pulled a legendary. Yeah. Nice. Good job. There you go. Yeah. All right. So this is a box. This is a box that never would have been opened if FedEx didn't return this, and it had a Cornet Peak in it. Oh my goodness, that is an incredibly damaged Cornet Peak. I don't know if you can see this. There's a real scuff in that Cornet Peak, like right along here. And it's a little warped too. I also don't need it, so this is going in the trade binder. But still cool. Still cool that we got a legendary at all in this otherwise lost pack. Pretty nice, son. My packs have not been very good. And yours you've been throwing away, so. Whether they were good or not, they just went in the trash.
Check this.
I'll double check it after stream. We do have to run off to our dinner date in a little bit. What story was I in the midst of? I don't remember. Oh, I was reading the chat. Oh yeah, I heard about the cyclone. Actually, what do you call? Is a cyclone like a hurricane? Is that the same thing? because I'm from Louisiana.
This is good.
No, it's a common. I'm from Louisiana, and hurricanes are no joke. Even the small ones can do quite a bit of flooding damage. The big ones, of course, when the winds get involved, do a lot more. So I'm just trying to find the parallel there. Is a cyclone a hurricane? Is that just like New Zealand lingo? I don't know. Valentine's Day could have been better. We got pretty unlucky. All our cosplay suits finally arrived, and they don't fit, but at least the food was nice. Cosplay? Ooh, tell me more. I'm interested. I've been thinking about doing a cosplay again. Did you find something? Well, that's an M, so that's good.
Yeah, but what about that?
No, that can go. Ice and Howl ain't good. Cosplay? Is this something to do for Flesh and Blood? Like for Pro Tour or something? I've been thinking about if I want to actually try.
This?
Oh, Hun, how come you are opening all the hot stuff? All right, Marvel Uvia. Marvel Uvia. Let's see. Is this one damaged? All right, that's looking good. That's looking good. Back is looking good. Okay, so the Uvia survived the damage there. Good job, hon. Thank you, thank you. I actually did want a Marvel Uvia because I only have one of the other altars. All right, so not bad. For a random box, we pulled an Uvia cold foil, a Heatwave cold foil, and a Coronet Peak. And I think, what, is Dominia like a more valuable Majestic? Of course, Vipox is going to be like $100 as soon as Outsiders comes out. That'll be fun. Similar, but spins in a different direction. Oh, that makes sense, right? Right, because above the equator, below the equator, with the spiraling. Okay, so a cyclone spins in the opposite direction of a hurricane. I assume it's like the same destructive effects. Geez, I really feel bad for you all out there. That is not fun. Someone who can truly empathize with what those things can do damage-wise. Oh, man. Hope you're okay. Hope you are okay. I lost my entire house to Hurricane Katrina. I mean, I was little. I was like 8. So it's not like it directly impacted my finances or anything. It was my mom's house. But it was awful, as you can imagine. Lost my entire house. We couldn't move back. The entire neighborhood was contaminated by all the sewage water and stuff that had been floating around. So, yeah, we had to move. We had to move to 3 different states. New York, Florida, Philadelphia, Philadelphia for just like a tiny bit, and then back to Louisiana. So, I totally get it. Big destruction. Is this the last pack?
Yeah.
Okay, well, still, I would call this a win. At this point, we don't even need to keep out the foil Ice Eternal. This thing got reprinted as like a promo anyway, so that doesn't matter. I will keep the foil Oasis. Okay, pretty darn good, pretty darn good. Random box here. I mean, these are all bulk Majestics, but this set had a lot of them. With some real keepers. Good job, huh? Are you trying to peace out?
I almost fell.
Okay. Well, Sandra's trying to peace out. I get it. She didn't really want to jump on stream to begin with, but I got one quick yes out of her, so I was like, okay, we're literally turning on the camera. You said yes, so I'm turning on the camera. So hopefully you all enjoyed the bit of an impromptu Valentine's stream. Ashikaze, you do a lot of anime cosplay. If you get to the Pro Tour or even calling, you definitely do something fab-related. Tried doing Prism in November, but she had too many details and you gave up. Aw, that's no fun. The details are, I mean, props to you for trying to take on something that challenging even to begin with. When I did Young Leviah, part of the reason I did Young Leviah was because there weren't that many details. So the first time I did it, I realized it probably wasn't enough of an effort. It's just kind of like wearing the right clothes. So the second time I did it, we actually, painted the little mat itself, built more of the layout with the candles, and had the actual, guts pulling out of the rabbit. We made it more of a, more emotive. Like there was actually something to show off rather than the outfit itself, because the outfit wasn't that interesting. I just don't have an eye for detail or the craftsmanship, like at all, to get that kind of thing done. So power to you if you try to do that. It is tough stuff. Okay. Well, this was super quick, super fun. We kind of ran through the gamut of some of the most topical stories, mostly with FedEx. I'll just check all her bulk because she might have missed another legendary, who knows. With the whole FedEx thing coming to a close, which was pretty cool. Of course, you probably all saw the calling. Oh, here you go. Foil equipment. That's not terrible. Well, it is pretty terrible. I think it's like 25 cents. But a quarter is a quarter. You probably all saw The Calling. Shout out to Ethnic Smoke, who's in the chat, who obviously helped cast that sucker. Really cool. Don't know when the next one's coming, if there will even be a next one. Details are super vague. But I had a lot of fun doing it. And, you know, it was really just an opportunity to start plugging holes in that kind of portable stream setup, because if it just worked as I have it built in my head, I mean, it'd be fantastic. It'd be like the best production you've ever seen. The reality is, when you actually show up on the day and have to deal with some of the randoms goings on of people stomping on your cables and things just deciding to not work and internet being an issue, like troubleshooting all that, especially all of it all at once when I really was hoping it just kind of worked, ended up being a bit of a disaster on that first day. But, you know, we got above it. And by day 2, and especially by top 8, it was almost the stream that I had envisioned. So that was pretty incredible. I figured it was going to go a lot worse. And shout out to LSS for like trusting me to even try to take that on. Because it's kind of weird that LSS in the first place is just like, yeah, you know what? You can try this calling. Just see what happens. Because that was almost more of how they pitched it. It was like, well, look, the reality is nothing's really going to come together coverage-wise. It was just not on the books for this calling in particular, so you can just try and see what happens. And so we tried, and we saw what happened, and I was actually pretty impressed with how it turned out. And definitely things to improve, but huge shout out to everyone who helped pull that off. Ethnic Smoke, and especially Sam, saving me last minute. You know, the original way that calling was going to go down. So I asked so many people for help with the calling, and the reality was it was so last minute. Like, I literally found out like 2 weeks before the calling that I was even going to stream it. I didn't know. Like, I kind of had an idea, but I didn't know until 2 weeks before that it was actually going to happen. And when you ask people to commit their time and give up on either playing in a calling, if they were planning on doing that, or traveling out to begin with, if they hadn't planned on that, to just show up and do a calling with you, that's a lot to ask of somebody. And my boy, Punkage, Ethnic Smoke, he jumped in right away and was down. I had a really tough time filling that second slot. Even with the amount of money I was able to offer set by the LSS budget, it wasn't enough for most people. So in the end, I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it with Punkage, and it's going to be an absolute shit show. We are going to show up. If anything fails, there is just not enough manpower to fix it. We're just going to sit in the booth, try to do the whole thing, and hope nothing goes wrong. And as we found out, a lot went wrong. So I am very, very happy that Sam was able to jump in last minute. I actually didn't know Sam. He was a friend of mine who put me in touch and was just like, yo, I think this guy will really work with your team. Let's just see if, you know, he's a fit, and, you know, he can come out there and you guys can just like do the show, and it's just at the end of the day going to be better than you and Punkage just YOLOing it. And yeah, that's true. Like, huge shout out to Justin for setting me up with Sam. Huge shout out for Sam, because by the time Sam got involved, it was like the Monday before the calling. So Sam only got involved with maybe like 4 days lead time. Just crazy. But the behind the scenes on that calling, absolute insane. Did you see Stealth got revealed? Yeah, did it? I mean, it got revealed, but we still don't know too much, right? Like, all we know is that Stealth is nothing. It's kind of just like an archetypal word, right? It's like calling something an arrow, where things that buff arrows, you know, will only buff something that says arrow printed on it. In a way, Stealth is that same thing, right? Where things will interact with stealth. Stealth doesn't do anything inherently. So that's interesting. We'll see how that goes. As we've seen, there's reactions that deal with stealth. I think most things will probably work in that same kind of buff factor, where if something is stealth, it gains XYZ. Maybe there'll be other ways where stealth gets involved, where it's like if X stealth cards are on a combat chain, XYZ. Who knows? But yeah, I saw that. That was really sneaky. The way they're revealing these assassin cards. Very, very sneaky. All right, so far from going through this, I don't see anything else that was really missed. So that's good. Overall, though, this was it was a good box. You really can't complain. Can't complain. I would have loved to draft with this. I really did enjoy drafting Uprising, contrary to what many people believed about this set. I did have a lot of fun with it. I always went Dromai, and Dromai was always a puzzle. Let's catch up. Yeah, Sam almost started unplugging everything, and you almost walked out. Oh, Punkage, can I tell that story now? Can I tell that story now that the stream's over and it can't become reality? Oh, that'd be pretty funny. Okay, so last story, I think. Maybe last story. We'll see where chat takes us. Last story before we have to go to Valentine's dinner. Also, speaking of, look at these guys. Can you see over there? Sandra is petting the cats on my little work couch. It's so cute. We'll bring this over here. Okay, last story, I think. So, obviously the calling was a huge pile of stress for me. And even the day before that we actually went live, we had spent maybe like 6 hours or so testing everything, and things were actually going like okay. You know, I was plugging holes as they came up, fixing a lot of tech issues, doing test streams, trying what the cross streaming was like on Twitch, trying stress testing the internet, things like that. And for the most part, it was actually going well. And yet, even so, the night before, I just had this nightmare, basically, as I was trying to get a comfy sleep going, where basically everything that could happen everything that could go wrong went wrong in this nightmare, right? And it all started with, just one slight tech issue, like one thing just going wrong, where like maybe a mic was sounding fuzzy, and all of a sudden things just spiraled out of control in this dream where Sam just tries to be the hero and jumps up and he's like, I can help, like I know what to do, and he just starts unplugging things, but then the whole system gets fried, and then Punkage jumps in and just gets like really rattled about the whole deal and is like, you know what, I can't be involved with this situation, and just gets up and walks out. And then I try to save the stream and like switch the camera just to the producer view, and it's just me talking to the chat, like, the thousands of people in chat, trying to calm them down. But for whatever reason, I go on some tangent and start talking about Nigerian pirates and, not Nigerian, Somali pirates. And because of that, LSS like calls me and says like, you cannot be saying those things on stream. We're unplugging you. We're not paying you. We're never going to, get you involved with any kind of LSS content again. It was just this like horrible nightmare. And for whatever reason, when I woke up, I like really felt like that was going to come true. Because even though it seemed ridiculous in the moment, the fact that I'd had that dream meant that there was a reality where I could go off on some tangent and rant about Somali pirates. Because there's no way that would actually just happen naturally. Like, that just isn't a thing I would talk about. But because I had that dream, the seed was planted that I actually could rant about Somali pirates. And so I was just a wreck. I was just an absolute wreck going into day one of the calling. I was just convinced it was going to come true. Convinced all that was going to happen. Sam was going to unplug everything. Punkage was going to just walk out. I was going to, get excommunicated from LSS, blacklisted. But luckily that did not happen. So instead, the calling was a success in the end. I had a lot of fun with it. LSS was really happy with it. And all the feedback that I've heard has just been pretty amazing. So thank you for bearing with that whole production, because it definitely wasn't perfect, but it was kind of my first foray into something more official. But speaking of forays into streaming, I do want to try to get back to streaming more regularly. I just need to get through like this another phase of work that I've got going on in my real life, and then it'll probably be easier to throw in like a 2-hour stream here or there, just with probably Talishar and things like that. So all right, that's been about a 30-minute stream. I'll call that good, because we do have to get ready and go. So thank you all for tuning in. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the 2 words that Woman Sant was able to share on stream. Hun, come say hi one more time, or goodbye rather. She really didn't want to be a part of this, so I appreciate her a ton jumping in. This was her Valentine's Day present to me, was her jumping in.
Yeah, goodbye everyone.
Goodbye.
Good luck.
All right, hun, can you go click end stream?
Yeah.
All right. And I'll wave in the meantime, so please don't take too long. Goodbye, everyone.
What?
It's the blue button. It says end broadcast.